Hi everyone, welcome to my weekly episode of Show Me How It's Done. I'm your host, Lauren Urbonis with Lauren's Scraplot, and I am a Canadian demonstrator, so if you need anything, just don't hesitate to reach out. I can get you catalogs, I can get you information, or help you place an order, whatever you need. So I will be posting all the measurements for today's projects and the materials in our description. So if you're not able to kind of follow along as we go, feel free to just come back after you've got all those pieces cut, but I will give them to you as well as we craft along. So anyways, today I have a really fun project for you, but the reason I have these lovely flyers out is because this project is featuring this Yeti to Party dude. And it is part of our Perfect Partners promotion that is going on from September 1st to the 30th. So of course, if you're watching this later at some point, this year is 2022 and this promotion may not be going on anymore. But what we have here are 6 stamp sets that were featured in our 2022 to 2023 annual catalog. These guys here. And Stampin' Up! Has decided that for this month and this month only, they are offering dies to go with them. So the fun part about this is if you've ordered the stamps already, you can buy the dies separately. If you haven't ordered the dies though, or the stamp set, you can get a 10% discount by buying those bundled together. Okay, so it's a really, really fun way for you to kind of play with stamps you might own or stamps that you want to own because you want the dies now. So I do have to warn you, even though the promotion says the 1st to the 30th, that is while supplies last. So these dies have been known to run out before the month end. So if there's one that you really want, please make sure to reach out or to contact your demonstrator if you have somebody else that you support, and grab those right away, because I don't want you to miss out. I don't want you to wait till the 29th. Get them now, because they will disappear. The stamps will stay until the spring, but as far as we know, the dies are not guaranteed to do so. So just keep that in mind, okay? So I know it's a little hard to see my flyer, so I have the 6 stamp sets right here in case you wanted to see up close and personal. I featured this birthday piggy on my Show Me How It's Done video last week. So if you go to my YouTube channel, Lauren's Scraplot, you'll be able to find that video, and it's really cute. But here's the other ones. And of course the dies are just inside the cases for those. And then our featured stamp set today. So Yeti to Party. Today is actually my youngest son's birthday. So this is the card that I have made for him to celebrate his 5th birthday. And he was really excited when he saw this stamp set. He basically had no idea what it was, but he thought the monster, as he called it, was really cute. So I thought I would feature it on his card, and I'm going to show you guys how to make a really adorable birthday card out of this set that kind of you'd probably assume maybe more Christmas or wintry, but it's got a lot of potential to it. So let me move this out of my way so I just have a little bit of space to work in, and we'll get you going on this project. Okay, so the first thing that you'll need for this project is a card base. So I've chose the, what color did I choose? Balmy blue. In my head, I was like, bashful blue? No, balmy blue. Okay, and this paper is going to be cut at 5.5 by 8.5. We're putting a little score mark in the middle at 4 1/4 so that you can fold this card in half. If you've got that bone folder, give it a nice crisp line, and your card is going to open upwards, okay, for this dimension. Now, I always like to have something on the inside of my card, so I went with just a piece of white to match kind of the colors on the front. This is a piece of 4 by 5 1/4, and I'm just going to go ahead right now and put that on the inside of my card. If I was to come back later, I might decide to stamp a couple more of these presents, or maybe even some of these snowy mountain ranges on the inside of the card. But I haven't done that because I need lots of room to write on this card. And my husband will just sign his name. But I like to write the boys a nice little note, even though they can't really read yet. But I can read it to them, and then I save the nice cards and notes in their memory boxes for them. But they're getting really good at not, you know, wrecking things now, so I can have cards on display in their rooms for them. So there's the inside of my card, just easy to write on, ready to go. Now the outside of the card, I need some designer series paper. So I chose this really adorable piece that comes from the Storybook Gnomes, and it's got this really fun snowflake pattern on the back. I did actually think that these mountains and woods, if I kind of changed the color scheme of the card, would have also gone very nicely. But I'm going to put this whole piece of paper on the front of my card using a flat adhesive. We're using a lot of dimension in different parts of the card, so I don't need more on this base. I kind of just want it tied in. So my adhesive of choice is that double-sided tape that you can just tear strips off of, but we do have some nice seal rollers, or you might be a glue person as well. And there we go. Put that on the front of your card. This measures, I should say 4 by 5 1/4 as well. Oh, that's too far down. Nope. Good thing I didn't press really hard. Come back. Sometimes you can just do this. Or with your scissors. There we go. It's hard to do things on the camera screen sometimes. I'm not looking straight down on a project. There we go. Let's try that. Much better. Okay, there's my little snow scene. Okay, now next you need a piece of colored cardstock that matches the base that you used. So this one is going to measure 2 3/8 by 3 3/8, and that is going to get popped up on dimensionals on your card front. So it's up to you completely at this point. If you're copying my card exactly and using the Yeti, you're going to put this on the right-hand side of your page. But if you're trying something different, then you could always choose to move it left if you preferred. Okay, but it will work either way. I just went with the right because the Yeti kind of faces that direction already. So here we go, putting that on the right-hand side of my card. Now, you can either choose to add another piece of designer paper, maybe a different pattern than the one you've used before, or I decided to use some of these Vellum flocked snowflake sheets. So let me grab the full package for you so you can see. Oh, they're on the ground. Here we go. So this is a really pretty set of papers. It's called Snowflake Specialty Vellum. So the packages come with this flocked snowflake design or a metallic silver. So you get a 12 by 12 sheet of metallic silver and flocked in 3 different patterns. So there's pattern 1. You've got your snowflakes flocked and shiny. And then pattern number 3, I don't think I have the flocked sheet of, but it is just another snowflake one, but a little bit more linear. They're kind of a lot more laid out. I do wonder if we have a die set. We have snowflake dies, and I feel like they probably would coordinate with this paper. But don't quote me on that one because I haven't tried it yet. But you get 6 sheets of 12 by 12 in the package. Lots of potential. Okay, so this vellum is really nice. It doesn't, it's thick enough, it doesn't really show your adhesive through it. So you can go ahead and add your tape to the back of the project. And then this piece was 2.5 by 3.5, and it gets added right to the middle of this little square. Okay, so there is the base of your card. Now you get to decorate, okay? So for myself, I decided I wanted to use this Stylish Shapes banner. So this is the largest of the banners, And I cut that out just on basic white. And I'm gonna use the Yeti stamp for the birthday that says, "Get Yeti to party, it's your birthday." So I've grabbed my Pacific Point ink because that matches this blue in the background here. And we're just gonna tap, 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 because this is a really juicy ink pad, and stamp that down kind of on the left-hand side of your banner, because we're tucking part of it underneath our Yeti here, okay? You don't need to put this in the middle here. Now, to attach this onto your card, you'll only want dimensionals under the part that has your sentiment. You don't want anything on this right-hand side, because otherwise it's going to kind of be tilted in a weird way on your card, because this blue piece is already popped up. So just underneath where you would kind of have that sentiment section, you're going to pop up the banner on dimensionals. And that goes down here. So of course, if you're using a different something, you're going to want to decide whether this goes on the right or the left, and you can play with that as you will. Okay, now it's time to build your Yeti. Okay, so I have pre-done my stamping and cutting with the die cuts, but I did want to show you a really fun feature of this set. So here's a Yeti that I've cut out with just basic black ink. But in the die set, there's this really weird piece here that you're kind of like, well, that doesn't fit with any shape. It is his arm, okay? So if you look at this die, there's only a cutting edge on the top part of this arm right here. So if I was to lay it over top, and then I always use a little bit of tape to kind of hold these small dies in place. And if I was to run it through my cut and emboss machine, you end up with a slit right here, which is perfect if you wanted your Yeti to hold a little present, or he could maybe hold a little heart. He could hold a snowflake or a little bird, or even an ice cream. He can hold whatever you want him to. The reason I didn't do that for this card is because I really liked this die here. And this is an adorable little scarf that I had to use. So if I was to have him hold his present, you can see the scarf wouldn't really have fit. It would have kind of been tucked over. Like, it could work, but it wasn't as noticeable that he had a really fun scarf. So I decided not to do that for this card, but I had to show you that you can if you wanted to. Okay, so let's do a little bit of coloring on my Yeti. You can do yours as different or whatever as you would like, but I have used a little bit of yellow, so the dark Daffodil Delight on his horns. And then I grabbed just a really soft petal pink, any sort of peach or red for his tongue there. And then the fun part is the blue. So I've used the light Balmy blue, and I'm going to color this facial part here. So trace that whole outside. And then using my blends, just gently back and forth for that little image. And then I thought it was fun to kind of go around the rest of his body and give him kind of a blue shadow. You could use gray as well. That would work really nicely, but I thought blue was fun because we're using that anyways. So just go around the whole perimeter, anywhere along these black lines. And I did it on the inside of his body. Usually we kind of shade more on the outside and give a shadow, but let's just say he's got a little blue tinge to his fur. There we go. I forgot to say hello to those of you who are watching. I'm so glad you can join me live today. If you're watching the replay, hi as well. I know sometimes my noon time slot doesn't work for everyone, but at least you can watch these anytime. And also, if you like and subscribe to my YouTube channel, then you'll get notifications when I go live. And if you can watch at that time, that's great. If not, then you can always watch later. I think I did my arm opposite, and that's fine. We'll just try how this works. And then I wanted a little bit of a tummy kind of look, so I just drew kind of a circle up here, and an oval down here, colored that in. You can do it if you want. I just thought it was fun, kind of shadowed look. So there we go. There is my little Yeti. And then for the present, I colored that one in light Parakeet Party. And I'm actually going to add some polka dots with my Balmy blue onto that because I thought that would be really cute. They blend really well. There we go. Little polka dot present. Okay, now to attach this, I'm going to start with my Yeti because he's the big focal piece. So on the back of him, we're going to pop him up with dimensionals. And that can go just kind of all over his body there. I wouldn't do any on his like extended arm because part of that kind of hangs off the card. So just be mindful of that. But you can do his legs if you want and whatnot too. Okay, so there's the little Yeti. And then we're going to put his scarf on. And that one is also getting popped up on dimensionals. So just put dimensionals in the part that goes under his neck. And you only need a couple. The mini dimensionals fit perfectly, so you don't have to see them poking out. So 2, maybe 3 of them if you're really worried. Just on that little kind of U-shaped part, not on the tassels. And then this goes under his chin. And then you can add your present, or if this is not a birthday card for you and you've chose a different sentiment, you could also come in now and add maybe a cup of steaming hot cocoa, or you could have an ice cream cone, or that little birdie could be resting on his arm right there. So anything that you want is just fine. But I'm going to pop this present up. I want it coming off of his arm, so I'm actually going to put a dimensional just on the little hand right there. And then my present can go right up here. Oh, there you go. Now, if you want to elevate this a teeny tiny bit more, we have this really cute trio of pearlized enamel effects. And I had a really fun time playing with this with a wreath card that I'm going to show you guys later in the season. I haven't used the silver yet. But with the white, and this stuff lasts forever, you can make yourself little enamel dots without having to buy tons of enamel pearls or without having to sit there with your take your pick tool and put them all on. So what I did was in the center of a few random snowflakes, I'm putting little dots because I thought it was fun. Can do them on whichever ones you like. No rhyme or reason, but I just thought it was kind of fun to add that. You won't notice it as much on my video, but you will notice it when you're in person, how it kind of just makes those snowflakes stand out a little bit more. Okay, and then if you wanted to add something to the tag, I thought it was maybe really cute to just add a few little dots beside your sentiment. And they will dry, so you can see the difference between these here. So now you do have to make sure to put this aside. You unfortunately can't write on it right now and give it away. So if you've chosen to use those pearlized enamel effects, you kind of have to let this dry at least for an hour, I would say, and then you can go ahead and package it up. But there's your little Yeti. You could make this any which way you liked. Another set of colors that I thought would be really good if you're wanting something a little girlier would be one of our in colors here, the Fresh Freesia. That would be a really nice soft color to use as your base. And then also you would use the marker for the light Fresh Freesia here too. So it could work with the same snowflake background, or it would work with the other side that I showed you with those nice trees and mountains. So whatever works for you and whoever this is for, I hope that they enjoy it and hope you love it. But I get to go continue planning a fun special day for my little guy. Weekday birthdays are never that fun. We're doing his party on Saturday with his friends, but I still have to make today fun. So I sent him off to school, and then this afternoon and this evening we're gonna have a fun little time together while his brother's at grade 1 and he's just in kindergarten, so he's half day. So he and I are gonna go shopping, find a cake, and order that for Saturday, and he gets to pick supper, so I have no idea what we're eating, but he gets to pick what we're doing, so it'll be fun. I hope you guys enjoy your week. I will see you next week at noon, and you get to see another fun card, and I look forward to crafting with you guys again. Take care.